When fear shows up, allow that to be your sign that you're actually on the right track. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Words of Wisdom podcast. This is the place to be if you're a soulful entrepreneur who is ready to manifest an expansive business and life that includes that time, space, energetic, and financial freedom. I'm your host, Minerva Maharaj. I'm a certified spiritual coach, manifesting master, and founder of Goddess of Wisdom Spiritual Life Coaching and Starseed Academy Coach Training. I'm so grateful you are here, and I promise I'll be giving you the stories, the strategies, the tips to create that life your soul came here to experience. Thank you so much again for being here. Let's dive into this week's episode. Hi, everybody. Welcome to this week's live episode of Words of Wisdom. Today, I'm excited to bring this topic to you of why fearful thoughts pop up when you are feeling good and when things are going really well in your life. Do you ever notice that you might go to bed and you're feeling really good and you wake up and then just this looming feeling comes over you? Or you're feeling really good in your business, or you hit a certain amount of income and you're achieving the goals you want to achieve, and you just feel like everything is possible, and you just feel like, yes, I've arrived, things are finally going my way, and then boom, a thought hits you. What if it all goes away? It's not safe to do this. What if people start mocking you? What if this client sends bad feedback? What if you don't show up and serve them like you really want to serve them? And all these thoughts, and you just start spiraling. I'm going to go into that today on why these fearful thoughts show up. It is normal. There's a way to clear this. There's a way to change this. And I'm going to guide you through this today. And I'm going to share some extra support should you feel called to go deeper into this work. Okay. So why do fearful thoughts show up when you're feeling so good? Before I go into it, let me share a little story. What happens to me that I notice that anytime I hit like a new level within myself, I have cleared something. I feel really good. I feel expanded. I feel confident. I feel clear in my business. I'm accomplishing things. I'm seeing evidence of it. Then all of a sudden, a thought would hit me, and it sounds very dark. It would hit me that what if I die? Or what if someone I love dies? I would get this looming fear of death over me, that it's the end. And I used to think something's wrong with me. And some days I still think something is wrong with me. Just joking. But I thought it was something meaningful. I thought it was truthful, right? And that's the funny thing with the brain, that just because you think it doesn't mean it's real. So this anxiety and fear will come onto me, and I would think it's so real. And then what does that naturally do? It teaches you pull back to be safe, right? So I would have this fear hit me, and it would feel so strong, and I would spiral. I would just go into this doom and gloom, this dark place. This was like last year. I would tell my coaches, and sometimes they couldn't even tell me what was the matter. But it really hit me. It came to clarity that I noticed. I started observing these thoughts and when it showed up. And I noticed it showed up every time I'm about to expand. The ego shows up when you're about to expand. And so this is why the fearful thoughts kick in when you are feeling good. It's because you're hitting your expansion point. So every time you're about to expand, every time, or not, I shouldn't say every time, but do you notice that there are times when you're feeling really good, you feel expanded, you feel like it's possible, or things are going really well in your life? One of the reasons may be because you just hit this expansion point. And what's the book? The Big Leap talks about this. When you hit this thermostat, this set point of feel good, that when you hit that, it doesn't feel safe anymore. So just like how you set the thermostat to say 70 degrees, and so your house will then go to that heat or level. And then once it hits that level, it won't go past that, right? And then if it drops, then it will bring it back up. So you have this set point. And for me, I understand this as my expansion point. So every time I hit my expansion point, my feel good point, and because I know on the other side of that point is everything that I desire, right? Whether it's in my business or my money or in my life or just feeling good and feeling that joy, that every time I hit that, I actually touch on it, I experience it, I see evidence of it, I'm embodying, I feel it, the thoughts kick in. So the self-sabotage kicks in is what the big leap talks about. But for me, I notice that these thoughts kick in every time I hit my expansion point, the point where I'm about to expand, whether I had a big breakthrough or I hit a new level in my business and income or ideal clients are coming in. This emotional set point, this expansion point is touched on. And then these thoughts come in and flood my mind of like, it's not safe. If you go past this point, you're going to die. So it scares me to the point of the conditioning is that death is scary. It's the worst thing that can happen to you. And so my subconscious, my ego mind then does its job to keep me safe, to keep me in the zone of familiarity, of comfort, of safety. So don't go past this point, because if you go past this point, something bad is going to happen to you. And guess what? I believed that for so long, so then I allowed myself to just go to that set point, and I would question myself, why did every time I hit that point, I drop down? Why does my income drop down? Why do I notice there's a dip in my business? Why do I notice that I used to say, like, this is as good as it gets, that every time I get really happy, then it's something bad is bound to happen. So there's that limiting belief in there as well. This is as good as it gets. So when you hit this expansion set point, the ego steps in to keep you safe and fills your brain with these things of it's scary, you're going to die, something bad's going to happen to you, something's going to happen to your business, everything is going to be taken away, to keep you safe, to keep you in the zone of familiarity. Just because it's familiar doesn't mean it's good for you, right? So, I mean, how long do we live in the place of comfort, in our comfort zone? And just because it's comfortable doesn't mean it's healthy for you, doesn't mean it's good for you. But there's so many times we do things that we feel comfortable, like eat poorly, drink poorly, don't work out, the way we treat ourselves, treat our bodies, treat ourselves emotionally, mentally. And just because we do that, just because it's familiar, just because it's comfortable and familiar and consistent within you, doesn't mean it's healthy for you. Okay, so back to this expansion set point. You've hit the expansion set point. You hit this point of, wow, I've achieved this. I see this. I'm receiving this. And that's as far as you're going to allow yourself to go, because anything past that is bad. You might get judgment from other people. People might want something from you. You're going to be laughed at. It's all going to be taken away. How can you maintain that? Can you do it again? All these thoughts. So do you notice the negativity? Do you notice the self-sabotage that kicks in every time something gets good? Every time you see something show up in your life, in your business, in your money, in your relationships, how good can you let it get before you let the old self, the ego self, the fearful self show up? And so just because the ego shows up, just because the fearful thoughts or feelings show up, doesn't mean it's real. Fact and feelings are different. Just because you feel fearful doesn't mean it's factual that there's something there to fear. That death is actually going to happen, that you're going to be mocked, that it's all going to be taken away. I had one client, a private client, once said that she was scared to open her business because she was afraid that she would get bad publicity. And she didn't even open the business yet. But these are the fears that kick in when you know what's possible, when you can allow yourself to expand to that greater vision and feeling and knowing of what you know is possible, what your greater self knows is possible, what you're here to do. But then the thoughts come in to scare you into doing that. Well, the ego is just doing its job, and so is your inner being. So is your soul, whatever you want to call that. You know there's something greater within you, There's something greater out there for you, even if it's just a desire that you want something more, you know you want something more, you just know where you are right now is not where you want to be, but there's something greater. That is what's driving you. Is completely normal. In fact, I want you to recondition how you look at fear. You want fear to show up. Fear is actually a sign that you're doing it right, that you are expanding, that you're on the right track. It took me a long time to come to terms with that, because I know that every time I expand or something good happens in my life, or I feel really good and then fearful thoughts come in, now I can be like, ooh, thank you. Okay, I see what you're doing. You feel threatened. Your identity, your livelihood, and what you have known feels threatened. So you're going to scare me so that you can survive. That's how I talk to my ego. And then I use that as a sign to keep going. I'm going the right way. Otherwise, it wouldn't show up if I was going to do something different, if I was going to expand to something, or there's something greater that existed. So what's your relationship with fear? So when fear shows up, allow that to be your sign that you're actually on the right track. And it's not factual that there's something to be fearful. It's not factual that someone's going to mock you, or your money's going to be taken away, or that you're going to get bad publicity, or you're going to get whatever, bad feedback. And guess what? If it does happen, chances are something's going to happen. People are going to mock. People are going to judge. Every time you're expanding, every time you're doing something different, if you dare to be different, if you dare to dream, if you dare to do, someone who's not doing it is going to judge. And you need to be okay with that. But are you okay with being small and staying where you are and staying underneath your set point? Are you okay with not expanding? Because you are meant to expand. Everything in this universe expands, including you. And when you're not expanding, that's where you feel the most friction and dissatisfaction, when you're not allowing yourself to expand to the greater part of you and who you really are. So wherever you're listening to this from, YouTube, Instagram, on whatever podcast platform, I want to hear how this is speaking to you. Drop it in the comments, leave a review, and let me know. My goal today was to help you feel safe to expand. So allow fear to be an indicator that you are expanding, and it's safe to expand to that next level of income, of business in your life. Whatever it is that you imagine, allow yourself to expand. And that fear is actually showing up because you are expanding and because what you want exists and is real. That is factual. You make that factual. Don't let the fear hold you back. Don't let the fear be a fact. It's a feeling. Don't let fear be a fact. Let it be a feeling. The fact is that if you let fear win, if you let fear stop you, if you let fear keep you small and in your circle of comfort, the fact is you're going to stay where you are. But if you allow fear to just be a feeling and an indicator of, ooh, you're doing something right, have a new perspective of it, have a new relationship with fear, and allow it to be almost that, in a healthy way, the fuel that's going to drive you forward. To me, I observe it and I use it as an indicator that I'm doing the right thing. There's not anything I have done that wasn't scary. Buying my house, opening 2 businesses, having my kids. There's so many great things that have come in your life that you've been afraid, whether you're a mother, whether you're a parent, whether you're a business owner, whether you just, that job, you did it anyway. And chances are most of the things that we are afraid of doesn't even happen. It's just the mind. It's just a thought. It's just a feeling. And it doesn't mean that it's true for you. And it doesn't mean it needs to be true or be a part of that story. Be a factual part of your story. So expand. Allow yourself to expand into abundance. Expand in love. Expand into the success you envision and feel and sense and desire. And know that when you do that, you are giving other people permission to do that. You're going to inspire other people. And most importantly, you're not just doing it for yourself, you're doing it for your children, past generations, up to 7 generations behind you and 7 generations before you. So be the brave one. You are the chosen one, I say to my entrepreneur women who comes to my biweekly networking event, is that we are the chosen ones to be different, to dream, to do. And it's going to look different. It's going to feel different. And we have to be bold enough and brave enough to allow ourselves to be that different person. Okay, so allow yourself to expand and dream and go to that level. It is safe. That's what you're meant to do. You are here to expand. You're here to expand other people, and you have to allow yourself to do that. Be brave, be bold, give yourself permission, and you're going to be so proud of yourself when you look back. And you already have evidence of that now. If you can look back and find at least one or two things you were really scared of doing, but you did it anyway, look at all the good that came from it. And fear is just an indicator that you're doing it right, that you are expanding, and what you want is possible. It exists. I get goosebumps when I say that. It is so true. It's so real. I really hope this speaks to you. Let me know in the comments below. And I would love to invite you to my monthly mastermind called Manifest Mastermind, where I'll be sharing tools, lessons, and strategies to build your business and life of abundance and freedom. We start September 4th. It's just $35 a month right now. It's a special price, or $111 for 4 months. So a monthly mastermind where we'll meet and I will support you and I will guide you through on the spot the things that will help you elevate, expand, and grow your business and your life into the life of freedom that you so desire and deserve. So I will leave the details below. Thank you so much for watching, listening, and sending all the love to you. Get ready to expand.